Hello and welcome to today's webinar about mobile order. My name is Michael Bosch and I'm the product owner of mobile order at SAP Customer Checkout. So first of all, a short introduction. So I will explain you what is mobile order, what was the history about mobile order, how we started with that. Then we will jump into the system. I will give you a short demo. And at the end, there will be time for some questions. So if you have questions, please use the chat function for that. And in the end, we will try to answer all the questions. So first of all, what is mobile order? Mobile order is our latest innovation, which will bring your ordering process to the next level. But before we will start with mobile order, let's first of all check the history about that. So why we have developed mobile order, how we have started. Okay, so we got from several customers the request to optimize the existing ordering process, especially in stadiums. For example, you can see here the SAP arena, and you can imagine there are several challenges in such stadiums. For example, you have there around about 15,000 possible clients, possible customers who wants to buy something to drink, something to eat in a very, very short time break of probably just 15 minutes. And as you have so many customers, there's always a risk that the customer will just leave the queue and go back to the stadium to continue watching the game. And this was actually also our challenge. So you can see here on this picture, you can see how long such queues might be. So you can see that a lot of fans are actually waiting until they can order. And there is an issue with that, because if the game continues, then a lot of fans will leave the queue, will go back to their seat. And this is the biggest issue for the caterer, because in this case, he will lose then revenue. And that's why we were asked to help the customers here at this point. And we, first of all, analyzed this whole situation there. So the first thing which we did is actually we checked what is really time consuming. And we figured out that it is not the preparation of the drinks and of the food. If you can see here in this picture, you can see that the drinks already prepared and also the food is already prepared. So everything is almost done actually, just the ordering process. This is really the problem here. And we figured out that the communication between the fan and the cashier is actually the issue. So this takes a lot of time, and in the end also the payment process. So especially if it is cash payment, then you have to imagine there is a change which you have to give back and you have to count the change, and this is really taking a lot of time. So that's why we decided to improve this process, and we came up with the simple idea of just doing this whole ordering and paying just before you go to the kiosk. So you will order and pay directly in the app. And in the end, you go just with the QR code to the kiosk and pick up your drinks, your food and beverages. Sounds easy, right? But it's not. Unfortunately, it's not that easy. So if you check in the details and you check how a stadium works, you will find out there are several challenges. So first of all, in a stadium, you don't just have one event type, you have different kind of events. For example, you would have ice hockey events, you would have handball events, or probably also some concerts. And there you have also different price lists. So depending on the event, there is a different price which the customers have to pay for their food and beverages. Besides that, there's also probably another image which should be displayed. The app might look a bit different. Some texts are different because it's really optimized on the event type. But also from the location itself. So here on the right side, you can see there is a stadium, a sample stadium. And imagine if you're, for example, sitting here in the location area 212. You can see if you go outside of this location area, then you have a lot of shops where you actually can buy something. But not all shops are reachable for you. Probably there is a physical wall, which you can see here in blue, which stops you to go there. So probably you're not allowed to go to kiosk 7, to shop number 7, to pick up your goods, because it is just not possible. So such kind of limitations you always have to keep in mind. Besides that, the shops themselves also might have different assortments. So at one kiosk, at one shop here, you can probably buy some burgers. At another shop, you can buy some sausages. And again, on this, probably in another kiosk, which you can also reach from your location, you can again buy some burgers. So also the assortment are different based on the location which you select. So it is always a challenge to figure out where you're sitting and what you can actually order. So those kind of challenges we had in the beginning, we have thought about all this, all those things, and we came up with a solution which I will present you today. And this is mobile order. So next to the already common SAP Customer Checkout Manager and SAP Customer Checkout, we have developed mobile order. Mobile order is a web app. So it's a web-based application, not a native app. This is important to know. And it is developed next to the existing applications. How does it work? So mobile order is communicating with the SAP Customer Checkout Manager. So everything which is done in mobile order is also somehow replicated in the Customer Checkout Manager. So as soon as I will start to add some items to my shopping basket, this is directly here in SAP Customer Checkout Manager. And this is also the main part who is doing this whole calculation, for example. Everything what will be calculated will be done in the manager itself. As you can see here, we have a lot of new apps for mobile order. The details I will explain later. And as soon as I place an order, you will also find this order in the manager. And then the point of sales application will fetch the order from the manager so that I can also see the order in the point of sales application. Okay. And this is how it works right now at the SAP Arena. So here you can see me, who's picking up a sausage at the pickup station at the SAP Arena. So you can see here I have mobile order on my mobile phone, and I'm scanning it with the scanner, with the existing scanner, and have there a QR code. So I will just show the QR code to the cashier. He will scan it, and then he will directly see what I have ordered, and he will just give me all the stuff which I ordered. So this is how the idea is, how we developed it, and how it is right now already in some cases live. Okay, then let's really jump into the demo where I will show you all the details. So I have here already prepared an app, so a mobile order application. And the first thing which you can see here is that we have a welcome page. So this welcome page is completely configurable in the manager. Here you can see the details. So as a fan who never used this before, you get some description. You can decide whether you want to log in with an existing account, want to create an account, or probably also order as a guest. And here kind of explanation how this whole app works. So here, first of all, you have to select your seating location. Then based on that, you can select what you want to eat or want to drink. You will order and pay directly with your app. And in the end, you will just pick up your goods at the kiosk. So this is the idea of mobile order. And then we can decide to log in. Yeah, as I said, we have here login possibility. So we will use the existing customer users in the SAP Customer Checkout Manager system. We'll create here a new user if a user decides to register here. Here we also have the terms of use and data privacy agreement, which you can configure in the manager. We also have Google Captcha, which you can activate if you want. And yeah, besides that, we also have identity providers. So if you want, you can also integrate with an existing identity provider like I did here with Google. So we support the OpenID Connect as a framework which you can use to integrate with identity providers. And then if you want, you can just provide this and provide several identity providers like Google, Facebook, and so on. In my case, I already have a user here. I will just simply log in, and then we can place an order. Okay, here you can see there is already an event ongoing in the stadium. So here is an event right now, and the first thing which I have to do is I have to select my seating location. On the right side, you can still see the map so that it's easier to understand and to follow. So let's stick to the example. I'm sitting at location area 212. So I will select the corresponding block. And based on my selection, I will get now different assortments. So you can see I will get here the best sausage, Big Pan, and also the American burgers. But for example, the special fries, I cannot reach from my location, and that's why they're also not shown here in this list. Now I can select for one of those. Probably one hint at this time. Those images, which you can see here, are just available from feature pick 16 upwards. So will be released quite soon. And then you can also configure your system in a way that you can also see images here. Okay, let's go with the American burgers. So here we have different kind of articles. We have categories which you can define if you have some. So I will just add something to my shopping basket. We have also here images, again, a side note, available with feature pack 16. We have also the possibility to select generic articles if you have some. So add also here a generic article to the shopping basket. And also for sure, we also have sets. So here is a set where I have to select one generic article here. This you can also use and add this to your shopping basket. Okay, let's continue here and go to the shopping basket. Here we have an overview of what I just want to order. You can check all the details, all the prices. If you want, you can also click on it again, change it, remove the item or change the quantity. And besides that, we also support loyalty points with mobile order. So here you can see how many loyalty points I will get when I complete this order. And now let's go to the checkout process. We have different payment service providers which we integrated. So we have integrated with the help of Computop, the credit card payment, we have PayPal, we have Google Pay, we have Apple Pay, we have Pay Direct, and we also have Blue Code. So we have a lot of different payment service providers. By the way, there's also a possibility to use a generic payment provider. So if a partner customer decides to implement an own payment service provider, this is also possible. So you can simply just use the generic one and then do this whole communication with the SAP Customer Checkout Manager and integrate an own payment service provider. So let's do it with the demo one here. So this will be always successful. It's just for testing purposes. In the end, what will happen normally here is you will jump to the payment service provider page, will complete there the payment, and then you will be redirected back to mobile order where the payment is completed, and you will see this screen here. So now the payment is completed, the order is done, and we can check the order now. You can see here the QR code. This is the QR code which I have to use now, and I have to go to the kiosk and pick up my order actually. You can see here that there are several pickup locations where I can go. I can either go to kiosk 1 or to kiosk 4. As you can see here in the map on the right side, as I selected the location 212 and the assortment American burgers, there is either kiosk 1 or kiosk 4. Both kiosks are reachable for me, and I can just go there to pick up my goods. So it's in the end decision of the fan, and he can decide where to go. But before we will pick up the goods, let's just check also what else is here. So we can see here an overview of everything which we ordered and also the prices. And here you can also download the receipt if you want. So by the way, there will be also an email delivered. So we also introduced now email delivery in SAP Customer Checkout Manager. And as soon as you complete the order, you will directly get an email with an attachment where also the receipt is included. This I can also show you later. Okay, but then let's use this pickup code and go to the point of sales application and pick up our order. So here I have a point of sales application already running. And we can just go to the POS second, like this. And yeah, the cashier can have now the possibility. So if you configure a new function button here, which is called mobile order pickup, then if you click on it, a new UI opens, and here you can scan the QR code actually. So I will just scan this QR code here, and you will see it will directly open, and you can see all the stuff which the fan in the end ordered. So you can see he ordered water and burger here, cheeseburger with the menu. You can now take all the goods, give it to the fan, and in the end you just click on order delivered, and you see the status was changed to delivered, and the fan will directly get also here on the app the notification that this order was now delivered and the process is completed. This is how simple it can be if you use mobile order. So in future, much easier than before. No ordering process anymore, no payment process, everything done. You can just go with your QR code, show it to the cashier, he scans it, and that's it. Okay, what else do we have with mobile order? When we check now the details here in the menu, we have also an account page. So here on the account page, you can see your account details. If you want, you can upload an image here. You can also change the account data. You can change here the name. You can also delete your account. You can change your password. Nothing special. So all this stuff we also provide in the mobile order application. But besides that, we also have a very nice functionality, which is the loyalty card. So if you use already loyalty, and then you can simply just use now also this loyalty card in the mobile order application. So it's a nice to have feature which we implemented and added also to the mobile order application, because before we never had an UI which end users could directly use to collect points. From now on, you could just use this loyalty card, go to the point of sales application, and whenever you buy something, you can just show this loyalty card, you will scan the QR code and you will collect loyalty points. And here you can also see the history. So you can see all the actions which were done when you get some special points because you just registered or because there is a special promotion ongoing right now. And also you see here the receipts which you created and receipts for which you got some points. So this is the loyalty functionality which we also added now to mobile order. Now let's jump into the manager and check all the apps which we implemented and all the details and talk a bit deeper about mobile order. So first of all, let's talk about the already mentioned event types. So here we can see all the new apps for mobile order, and here we can see the event types app. So in the event types app, you can configure, as I said, depending on your event type, you can configure then the price list which should be taken. So you can see here, I have a different price list probably for ice hockey events than for concert events or for soccer events. And also the app layout I can configure a bit. So you can change here the welcome screen header. I can just quickly show that to you. So what is that? So here this header information, which you can see here. Everything is configurable. Here the header, the screen text itself on the welcome screen is configurable. And also if the user decides to order as a guest, then you need a special legal disclaimer text. And this you can also configure here if a fan wants to order as a guest. Then we also have some images which you configure. So the application logo, which you can see at the top, is also configurable based on the event type, and for sure also the onboarding steps. So everything which you can see here in this carousel is completely configurable. You can put here whatever you want, explanation with images, text, everything you can configure here. You can put as much steps as you want. So this is completely changeable, configurable. Okay, the next app would be the events app. So as soon as I log in here, just log in again. as soon as I log in, then you will see here the current event. If there is no event, if I would deactivate that, then you would directly see this here in the app, and you will see that you cannot order something because there is no event currently ongoing. And this you can configure here, so you can decide for your event. By the way, here's the image which will be shown then also in mobile order. You can activate here the mobile order functionality based on the event. So if your event, if you want to support for this event mobile order, then you would just go here, activate mobile order, select the event type, and also select the ordering start time and ordering end time. By the way, also, since feature pack 16, we also have the possibility to separate the time for delivery, but to, for delivery, we came to that later. I will show you also that we support delivery. Okay, this is how you can configure the events. Now let's go to the assortment. So the next thing is, actually I have to select here something, and then you can see those assortments. So where can you configure that? We have here an assortment app. And in this assortment app, you can simply configure all the items. So all the items which you want to sell, you can simply configure here. So you create categories first, like drinks, food, menus, and then based on those categories, you will just add the articles here, and then those articles will then show up in the assortment itself, which is very important now, the org units. So as exactly like I now have it here in my map, you have to do also the configuration in SAP Customer Checkout Manager. So I have here the assortment American burgers, and now I have to assign this American burgers assortment to kiosk 1 and kiosk 4, as same as you can see here, kiosk 4 and kiosk 1. And the same mapping you also have to do in the locations app. So this is the locations app. Here you would also define all your locations which you have. So let's just quickly check again in the mobile order application. Here I have to select my location, and those are the locations which I support right now. And those locations you can configure in the locations app. And here again, very important to use here the same org unit assignment, so that the assortment and the location match to the org unit, and then it will be shown like in my example. You can also, if, for example, you have a special event where not so many fans are coming, then you can also deactivate the corresponding org unit. So you can say, okay, this kiosk is today closed because there are not so many fans. Or you can just simply deactivate it, and then it will not show up anymore. And later on, if there is again a bigger event, you can already activate it again. This we also support. Besides that, we also have the possibility to add some restrictions here. So you can say, okay, my maximum receipt amount is, for example, 250 euros. Above that, I do not allow to order something with mobile order. And the same you can do with the number of articles. So you can also limit this to any number you want. And now probably one other feature which I want to show you is the delivery mode. So what we also have, we don't just have pickup, we also have the possibility to use delivery directly. So imagine you have here in our example an VIP area for very important people, and they want to get it delivered, for example. They don't want to use pickup, there it should be delivered. This you can also do. So you can just simply click here on VIP delivery only. And then you can see again the same assortment. You can go to the assortment, you can order something, add something to your shopping basket, and now click on checkout. And here you have to provide some delivery details. Those delivery details, you can either force the person to enter manually, or he can scan the QR code. So you can put some QR codes on the seat, for example, they can scan it, and then directly those fields are already filled. In the same way, you can also put into the QR code, in the QR code of the web app, also the delivery details, and then you don't even have to do it here. There will be automatically filled. So in this, just an example, we will put some data here in. and then we will do the ordering. So we will just click on continue, place the order. And here we also support the printing. So now my system is configured like that as soon as the delivery will be done, then it should be printed on the printer in the kiosk. That the person in the kiosk knows that there was a delivery done and I have to bring it now to the fan itself. So I will just pay, and yeah, you will see on the left side, this is my printing emulator. So you can see here that there was a mobile order done. You can see the customer information, where it was ordered, and also the location details. So the row and the seat of the fan, so that I can just bring now those 2 bottles of water to the fan, which is very, very comfortable. By the way, this whole seating details, location details, you can completely configure also in Customer Checkout Manager. It is not required to map it do it in a stadium or something like that. You can, in the same way, do it also, for example, in a delivery address. So you can put there the whole delivery address and support everything also for a restaurant, as an example. Okay. So, and here in the locations app, you can configure all those kind of things. So you can configure here whether your location supports only pickup, like those locations here, only pickup. You can also say, okay, here I want to have delivery. This is the only thing which I support here, but we also support actually both. So you can also say that the fan in the end should decide by his own whether he wants to get it delivered or he wants to pick it up. This I also have as an example here. So for example, here another VIP location where both are possible, both things are possible, and I will just go here, add something to my shopping basket again. And here there is a question again whether I want to get it delivered or whether I want to pick it up. And if I decide for pickup, then same process as before. I have to pick it up. If it is delivery, then printing will be done again and I will get it delivered. Okay. Yeah, let's check the mobile order general configuration. So we have here a lot of general settings which you can do. So you can configure the language, you can configure the region, the locale. We have several different features. For example, this capture, which we have here, the printing, which you can activate. So the QR code scanning, we have different features which you can check out. Just check our documentation, then you will get all those details. You can also configure the pickup ID length and what kind of allowed characters are there. And besides that, we also have some, the delivery details, first of all. As I said, everything here is configurable. So the row and seat is now just configured for my use case, but in the same way, address information, you can add here the street, the house number, the city, the country. You can configure here actually everything. And also we have some validations. For example, you can say here, my numbers should always be just from 0 to 255, and below that I don't allow anything. And the same for string values. There the maximum length is probably 5 and more is also not allowed. And also we have the possibility to set some optional delivery details, which you can check mark here as well. Okay, we have here legal stuff which you can configure. For example, if cookies are required, then you can activate here the cookies flag and also configure the cookie text here as well. And then we have also the legal notice, which you can here completely configure. So all those kind of things are configurable here in mobile order. Besides that, we also have a separate app, which is called Agreements app. And in the Agreements app, you can also configure then data privacy settings and those kind of things. Then the payment service providers, there's also a special app for payment service providers. I will show you that later. So there you can configure the payment service providers, and as soon as you have them configured, then you can assign them here to mobile order so that they will also show up in the mobile order application. As I said, we have the identity providers as well. So here I just added the Google identity provider, but you can put here also some more identity providers if you want to. If you have already an existing app and there you have a session, then you could also use our JOT token authentication. So here you would just configure your JOT token configuration, and then you could reuse the existing session to log in also directly into the mobile order application with an existing user which you already have in your system. Okay. Then let's also check the orders app. So we have an app where you can see all the orders which are created in the system. So those are the orders which right now are open, so not really completed yet, or which are already paid. So the customer, in this case me, should now get it delivered or will pick it up. So those kind of details you can see in this app. You can go there, you can see the items which were ordered, and also all the details from where it was ordered, which assortment it was, which date it was, and so on, and also the location details. So all this information you can get also from the manager. You can also get it here in this orders app. Okay. Then besides that, as I said, payment service providers. So as already mentioned, we have a lot of different payment service providers integrated, a lot with the help of Computop, like PayPal, like Google Pay, Google Pay credit card, Blue Code, and so on. So we have several payment service providers, but we also have a generic payment service provider, which you can use as a partner to also integrate further payment service providers. Okay, then quickly just about the email delivery. So as I said, from now on, we also support the delivery of emails, and this you can configure in the email templates app. So here you can say, for example, that as soon as a mobile order is completed, then I should get an email notification, and the whole email pattern you can configure here. So here you can configure how the email should look like, what kind of information should be there, that the pickup ID should be placed. You can put some images as well and some company details if you need them. And you can also separate that for delivery and for pickup. So there could be also a different email for pickup. And for sure, we also have an email for user registration. We have an email for the password reset, and for the deletion of the user, we also have a confirmation email, which you can configure here in this app. In the email outbox app, you will see then all the emails which were delivered. And if there is an issue, then you can also see that there was an error while sending this email to the client. Okay. I think that's it from the demo part. Let's jump back to the presentation, and let's check our live customers. So we have already now several customers which are live with mobile order, and they did it all in probably a bit different ways. Let's first talk about the FC Bayern Munich customer. So they integrated it into the Allianz Arena app in a very, very nice way. So they reused their native application and just put here an icon, as you can see. And as soon as you click on this icon, you will be forwarded to our web app application. And this web app is actually integrated in their existing app, which is pretty cool, because you as an end user will not notice that this is now another app. It is a separate app. It feels like it is really a native app, but it's not. And you can just simply use all our functionalities. So in this case, you are directly already logged in, and you can place an order in the end, pay with the generic payment provider. So they integrated their own payment provider in this case. And then also, they can reuse also all our functionalities and show it in their wallet. And in the end, the fan can pick up their goods at the kiosk. And a pretty similar approach also in the SAP arena was done in the Adler Mannheim fan app. So here again, you have the native app, native application. You click on the icon and you will be forwarded to the web application from us actually. Yeah? And you can see that here, if you click on this X, then the web application will be closed again. So in the same way, it is also integrated in the SAP arena. A different approach was done by TSG Hoffenheim. So they just used our web app itself. So there is a QR code somewhere in the stadium. The fans can scan this QR code, and then they will be on this web app, and then just register there, log in there, and simply take an order from there. So there is no native application for TSG Hoffenheim, and this is how different customers are integrating our solution in their existing solution. Okay, but now let's also talk about use cases. So this is not, stadiums are not the only use case which we support, or what was the idea of mobile order. Actually, there are a lot of different use cases where mobile order can be used. For example, you can use it in a normal restaurant. You can use it in bakeries. You can use it in canteens, in any kind of canteens. For example, also in the SAP canteen, mobile order could be used to do some kind of pre-ordering or something like that. Or probably in the retail, you could use it for click and collect in some supermarkets. So you can simply order before and then just collect your goods at the supermarket. So all those kind of use cases are possible with mobile order. I think we have there a lot of functionality which we developed, and a lot of things which are possible, which you can do. Okay, quick summary. So what have we achieved with mobile order? First of all, we reduced the very long queues, and hopefully this will even be better in the future as more fans will use mobile order. Then we have for sure we have a very innovative solution now with mobile order. And this is also a new way of contactless payment. So it's simple, fast, and secure. And probably one small hint at this point, if you already have feature pack 14 and you have already customer checkout and customer checkout manager, then everything which I showed you is more or less for free, because there is right now no price tag on mobile order. And so you can simply just use it. Feel free to try it out. Use our documentation for that and try it. And one restriction on this point, mobile order is not yet supported in the US market. Okay, that's it from my side.
Okay, so yeah, we would like to open now the session for the Q&A. So if you have questions for this topic, feel free to post them in our chat or the Q&A box. So there was already one question which came up. If it is possible to install it on a takeaway restaurant for the users to place the orders by their own. In that case, we will need to have one event always the same.
Yeah, this is possible. So you can, as I said, you can configure the system in a way that you have just one event. You can simply use, if you want, you can use delivery here. You can use pickup. So it depends on the use case. And then you would just, for example, in the delivery case, you could put the table ID in the delivery details, put a QR code on the table, and then simply just order there. So would fit, I think, would work.
Okay, so there is another question, so which came in for the mobile order. Can users or customers use it to order from wherever they are?
Yeah. So as it really depends on the use case and how you configure the system, but normally, as this is an web app application which is available online, you can also provide it for all the users which you have, and everyone can actually order. Probably also one hint here on this page, you can see here at the bottom right corner, I have a QR code. Feel free to use this QR code, scan it with your smartphone, and there we have a demo system, a test system, which you can use to try out mobile order. So you can even do it right now. For sure, there will be nothing delivered, but you can test it if you want. Feel free.
So another question which came in is, could you use just the loyalty aspect, for example, show the card and points balance, etc.?
So it is possible for sure. So this is also our intention. You can just use it. There is no limitation. Unfortunately, it's not that easy. So you cannot remove this whole mobile order stuff, but you can also check out the code, check how it was developed, use the UI, feel free. There is no limitation.
So another question is about the use cases. So it's is it full ready for a retail environment like supermarket?
I mean, full ready is always tricky. I mean, we have no customers yet. You can try it out if you want. If you have some gaps, if you find some gaps, feel free to contact us and we can check whether we can fix those gaps. I would not say fully supported, but I think there is a lot done already and a lot of things will work. I'm pretty confident.
Okay, so let's continue with the next question. Is there a possibility of displaying the expected waiting time in the app for the order? And is it possible to order burgers without pickles? So change item in the app.
Waiting time is a good requirement. So we also heard that from several customers that we could place there somewhere waiting time. Unfortunately, till now, there is no possibility to show any waiting time and to calculate waiting time. This is a good feature in general. I mean, might come in the future, not yet on the roadmap, to be honest. And such notes, we also do not support till now, but also a good requirement. We can also take that.
Okay, so just note, you can always bring these ideas in the customer influence portal if you have any nice features that are not yet there. Okay, so another question, can it be now used with multi-tenant managers?
Yeah, it should work with multi-tenancy as well. I mean, you have to do some special configuration for that. You can check our documentation, but in general, it should also work with multi-tenancy mode. If not, then it's a bug. We have to check that.
Then a question about the payment provider. Can we integrate it with our local payment providers like Paystack, for example, in Nigeria?
As I said, there is this generic payment provider, and you cannot develop something directly into SAP Customer Checkout Manager, but you can use this generic payment provider, which will communicate then to a proxy server, for example, which is then communicating to your payment provider. So you have to check how we expect the payload there, how we expect the responses. And then you can just simply use our generic payment service provider, which is also very good documented in our documentation, and integrate any payment service provider you want.
Okay, I just saw a note about the previous question about the multi-tenant, and one partner confirmed that it's working. So,
perfect.
So another question is, does it just work with Computop, or can we use other acquirer?
So right now, the single acquirer which we integrated is Computop. Besides that, we have a direct integration also with Blue Code. And in the future, some further payment service provider will come. I'm not sure whether I can mention them here in this meeting already or not, but some further payment service provider will definitely come.
Okay, another question is, what about the receipt calculation? Can we modify calculation, for example, promotions?
Till now, it is not supported, no. You cannot modify the calculation right now. So right now it is completely calculated in the manager and based on the manager settings, but till now there is, I think, no possibility to use any promotions or something like that. So yeah, there is still something to do for mobile order. It's not, I would say, perfect right now, but we did a very, very huge step already, I think. And yeah, some things like this promotion stuff, and also probably to mention it here, vouchers are not supported yet. So gift cards, vouchers are not supported. This will also come in the future, but till now there is no possibility here.
All right, so another question is if there is any code level documentation available to assist with integration and development work.
Code level documentation. Yeah, what do you mean by that? I mean, for the payment service provider, probably. I mean, the generic payment service provider is documented right now, so you can first of all check the documentation. I think there is no example code or something like that available. So if you're really interested to integrate something like that, you can also reach out to me, and we can check and have a look that we will support you there.
So just one note about the documentation in our SAP Help portal. We have one guide, especially for mobile order. So in this guide, you can check, and if it doesn't fit, then you can reach out to us. Another question is, does mobile order work when customer checkout is used with ERP as backend?
So in general, all the receipts will be created in the SAP Customer Checkout Manager. And if you, for example, have an S4 system, then it will work, yeah, because it will be directly forwarded from the Customer Checkout Manager to the S4 system using our outbound communication services.
Okay, that was so far the last question. So another question about the integration. So what about SAP Business One ERP as backend, if it's supported in this?
With Business One, it is a bit tricky because Business One, as far as I know, is right now only integrated directly with SAP Customer Checkout. And as the receipt will be created in SAP Customer Checkout Manager, the receipt will not be forwarded to Business One. But I think in the future, I'm not 100% sure, we also might bring this integration to the manager, and then it will also be supported by mobile order.
Okay, so in the chat, there are no further questions. So we still have some time if
confused here.
Any questions?
Probably Harald wants to say something. Probably he can also add some details here. Harald,
can you hear me?
Yeah, yes. Now we can hear you.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. To explain it again, in general, Michael said everything correctly. So the integration between SAP Customer Checkout and SAP Business One is not based on the Customer Checkout Manager. It is a direct integration between the point of sales part and the B1 integration framework plus B1. And that's why it will not work out of the box integrated with SAP Business One. But you can do it on project base, or partner can invest to integrate it. It's not a rocket science. We offer generic APIs in the Customer Checkout Manager. And as soon as such a mobile order receipt is paid, it is forwarded to the generic receipt API. And this API you can consume with, for example, with the Business One integration framework or with any other middleware. And then you can create an order together with a payment in the Business One system. But important, it's not coming out of the box. I hope this answers the question.
Okay, thank you, Harald, for taking over. So another question is if there is a screen where I can see all orders to check the needed food or drinks.
I mean, you can either check it in the in the Customer Checkout Manager in the Orders app, or in Customer Checkout in the Pickup UI app. But there is unfortunately till now no possibility to see a summary of everything. So you have to actually right now you have to go into the order and check it one by one. Till now there is no way to, so the reporting part is a bit missing here, so this might also come in the future.
Okay, I don't see any further questions. Okay, so there's again one question about the B1, but I think Harald, you answered it more or less. So before. Okay, so I'm just posting in the chat now a link to Partner Edge, where we also provide 4 guides for mobile order. So all the things that Michael explained now, we have some detailed how-to guides, how to set up the configuration, installation, how to use it as a end user, but also how to use it in the POS system. So yeah, you can have a look there. I saw that another question came in. So can I configure a minimum order limit? So,
till now, this is not possible. Yeah? But this is also a good feature which we also have in our mind. Yeah, a lot of good feature requests. I would say we have to write all of them down. But till now, there is no possibility to do that.
so I think.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you all for joining.
Thanks.